Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to this Ecos part number 2. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about self-belief, knowing your worth inside, and understanding that there's a gift, understanding that you can rise up beyond everything and beyond fellow Papua New Guinean male. You know, in this journey, I want you all to be really feeling where I'm coming from, and I want to be honest with you. I've come across obstacles with male Papua New Guineans, you know, targeting me, questioning me, challenging me, making me feel like belittled, that I do not know a lot about digital age marketing. But I have been studying these things way back in the year 2016, 17 and 18. I got deep into it. 19, I got into a job. At the end of 18, I got into a job. I had a job. 19, 20, I had a job. 21, I had a job. 19, 20, I had a job. At the end of 20, I quit my job. After I quit my job, I began to realize that I had to do something for myself. I had to be able to provide. I had to be able to give back. So my husband and I, we chose a path that we run a ministry. People look up to us, and so we don't rely on tithes and offerings. We really don't get from the people. People give with their hearts, and like rarely these days people give. Even if they're Christians, you know, people don't give unless they're really desperate about something. Every time you give, you want something in exchange. So after praying for a long period of time, and without my husband being where we are at the stage, he was away with our eldest son. We had 3 children, and the oldest is 14. I've been posting about him recently. Yes, he's into his product creation as well. I'm guiding them all into this direction of what I do. Just a little bit about ourselves. So where I am at, my family, my children. After our eldest son, we had twins, a girl and a boy, which are all into this. They also have a YouTube channel, which we are building from. So after going through all of the situations, there were days in our lives, there were days in situations in our times where we really didn't have enough money. We really didn't have food. We didn't even have, you know, everything that we thought was supposed to help us do what we are doing. And so after my husband left to his place with our eldest son, I began to search the Lord and seek the face of God, and begin to ask him, what would I do to be more, you know, rewarding to the people that he's entrusting us to lead. Not having them to give us, but we to give them more and more. Bless their lives, the orphans, the children that are struggling in broken homes, broken families, you know, people like that. We begin to look out to them, but how are we going to do that? Let, you know, be able to equip them with material things as well as the spiritual things. So the Lord spoke to me, do what you're good at. And growing up, I am so good, or I was very good at reading and writing. I would read, and that's my passion. Writing is part of me. When I'm upset, when I need to say something that I really can't say, I write it down. And that has been my magic communication skill that I had since I was growing up. And so I began to think about it in a more broader sense, align it into all the studies that I was having about make money online. It's really trying to figure out what is all about making money online, and how in Papua New Guinea anyone can do so too. So in Papua New Guinea, our system of allowing digitalized, you know, businesses, transactions are very limited. For reasons we do not know, that has only to do with the government and its systems. I really don't have a place to talk about that, but I do have a place to touch how we can go around little ways of how we can avoid the bigger ways of, you know, getting caught into doing something that is not right, something that is scammy, something that is, you know, what the banks might suspect that is not right, that is, you know, in our accounts and everything, something that is real and genuine, that I myself experience and I'm experiencing, to also teach you guys as well to do the same. So that's just a little bit about us, my family, me personally. I'm good at writing, I'm good at reading, and that's what I'm good at. So in the early January, I think it was in January 2nd, 2021, and then last year, that was 1 year, we're going into the second year now. So you can imagine within 1 year to the second year how much growth there is that I have encountered. So at that time, I made a post about my first ebook. And I remember at that time, I didn't really structure out everything. I was just putting all together my drafts of everything that I've learned. I put together all the drafts and everything that I have learned to, form the ebook itself. And of course, it's basic. It's not a pro version of an ebook, but it is what I started with. It is what was real, and it is what was approaching me at that stage. And I just threw myself in. It was the first time I had confidence in myself. It was the first time that I felt that my piece of work was worth me trying to reach out to, help others with my work personally, not someone else's work, my personal work. So that courage and that boldness didn't just come out of, someone telling me, oh, you should do that, you're good at that. No, it had to come out from within after searching the Lord and asking the Lord how I can be able to, give back. And when the Lord assured me that it's inside me, I should start inside me, I began there with that confidence. And it's not an easy thing to start right there. That is a place where everything is not right. You don't have the right phone, you don't have the money for data, you just don't have. But I made do with whatever little that was there. At that time, after working, I had a little savings set aside in Nest Fund, which I withdrew, and then I began to, put into place what I could do so that we live on. So after doing that post in the early 2021, I was so shocked to see the amount of support that I have gained with that one single post. People all around the country came telling me that when you are done, we want a copy of it. That just blew me off. And the post I did was not some 10 words. It was a very long post. The post I did was long. It wasn't an easy thing to do. I had to write and unpack all of my story. I had to talk about everything about me. And when people read it, they began to understand where I was and what was awaiting me. So I was shocked at the amount of support I received, the amount of people cheering me on to do it. At that time, again, like I said, I only was doing the piece by piece drafting together. It wasn't a whole thing already. It was just beginning something. So that was the beginning of it. The whole month of January and February, I was so busy. So imagine these drafts that I have put in together are not drafts that I wrote, just overnight. These were things that I did when I had a job. Those of you who are in this course and you have a job, it's not wrong to at least use that time that you finished all your tasks for the day and write something out for yourself, even on the work computer if you have to do it. I did that. I use the work computer and I've been writing my own drafts on the work computer. You can too. Many people say they don't have time. Oh, but we're so busy. No, you can do something for yourself. If you can have all a day of that entire day, working day for the employer and that you have, that you're making money for, you can spare just 1 to 2 hours to write a piece of, I don't know, whatever document that is, but do it for yourself. Save it in a draft, put it away into your phone. Do something for yourself as well. I encourage you all this day to do something for yourself while working in a job. It will all make sense. It is what made sense for me, and it will make sense for you. However tired your body can be, when you come home, look through the draft and be happy, be proud, be satisfied. When I see my work at the end of the day and I read through my reality, how much I bring myself out to write it down, it makes me feel whole. It makes me feel like I'm worth, the whole day that I work for someone else, I took a piece of my time out to do something for me that's real. It's not something I'm writing for another person. That we will also go into the next stage. But these are some things that will build you as a person. Sometimes it's by listening and by doing that we learn. There are people out in the world who are even 11 years old, who are even just 12, just 14, 15 children making millions and millions of kina out of working online. We'll get into that more. But I hope that you're charged. I hope that you learned something. And let's get into the next stage.